Wagwan Road Boy. Today's video will be once again about the so-called killer arrows from Homedefence-24, and today we will compare the normal ones with a pointy tip to the ones with an extra sharp tip. Both are in caliber 50, and it should be noted that we will use the 7.5 joule version of the TP50 Gen 2 to shoot them. We will look at their differences, shoot at watermelons, shoot at multiple layers of cardboard, and last but not least, we will do a chronograph test. In advance, since I don't want to waste anyone's time, you can't expect too much of a difference, especially with the 7.5 joule version of these airguns. Nonetheless, the end result still kind of surprised me, and I feel like this video is more for people who are still deciding on whether to get the normal or the extra sharp arrows. And before anyone asks, there won't be an accuracy test, and I'll tell you why in just a second. Here you can see the arrows with a pointy tip, which I will refer to as the normal version, and I know they are technically bolts, but since their name is killer arrows, I will refer to them as arrows. The back part is available in red and black, and it shows the red version here because they will eventually come off when shooting, and then they are much easier to find. The back part as well as the vanes are made out of plastic. The vanes are a bit flexible, the body itself is made out of aluminum, and the tip is made out of steel. These are the extra sharp arrows. The materials are the same, the back part is black here. As mentioned, it's also available in red, and if I haven't mentioned it before, when it comes off it can easily be reattached. When having both arrows next to another, we can easily spot that the body of the normal arrow is a bit longer, but the overall length is about the same. The vanes of the extra sharp arrows are a bit wider, and overall the shape is just a bit different. The arrow holder, which is also made out of plastic, fits onto any Picatinny rail, and the arrows can easily be attached to it. As you can see, when attaching all 6 arrows, both arrows at the top will get in the way of the trigger guard. So I would advise to only attach 4 arrows. When inserting the arrow into the barrel, you can see that the vanes bend, and they have to because otherwise it wouldn't fit. This is also the reason why we won't do an accuracy test, because the vanes won't always bend the same, and depending on how they bend, the arrow will sit differently in the barrel, so it won't always be centered perfectly. This obviously isn't good for the accuracy at all. I did an accuracy test a while back, and the conclusion was that it's accurate for about 5 meters, at least with the 7.5 joule airguns. And again, with the extra sharp arrows, it only makes sense to attach 4 to the arrow holder, because otherwise they will get in the way of your trigger. Now, I won't be talking anymore during the upcoming tests, and we will hear each other again when it's time for the conclusion. Now, to put a ribbon on it, I personally was kind of surprised by the fact that the normal arrows with the pointy tip did better in all of the tests. And even though we didn't do an accuracy test, we could expect that the normal arrows would do better in that as well, since the body is a bit longer. But then again, I still wouldn't call them very accurate, but better than the extra sharp ones. Regarding the back part of the arrows, as expected, it was noticeably easier to find the red back parts after they came off, in contrast to the black back parts. But as mentioned, you can get both these arrow types either with the black or the red back part. Also, I do want to point out that the extra sharp arrows really are super sharp, and therefore they would have an advantage over the pointy arrow tips from the normal arrows. We just didn't really see it here in these tests. But if we were to shoot something like flesh, for example, I feel like they would have it easier to cut the flesh and to create a meaner or nastier wound. But there is no denying it, the normal arrows definitely won this test.